What do you do when your battle chooses you? What do you do when something shows up on your doorstep and it's not from Amazon Prime and you didn't order it? What do you do when the devil drops something off for you to deal with that you did not directly cause, choose, or definitely anticipate? Like Jehoshaphat in 2 Chronicles 20, who is told one morning in verse 1, might I add, in a time of spiritual renewal for Judah, the southern kingdom of Israel, in a time of great momentum spiritually, one day, just when everything's going good, you know how just when you get something figured out, and just when you get in your groove, and just when you get in your rhythm,
life is not always easy. In fact, some of you today, you're here and you're going through the toughest season of your life. You're going through real pain. Maybe it is pain relationally. Maybe right now you are in a relationship problem. Maybe it's a loved one. Maybe it's a spouse, a boyfriend, a girlfriend. Maybe it's kids that are running from God and there's this relational pain. Now, others of you, it could be physical pain. I mean, this is one of these kind of things that we don't like to talk too much about in church, but man, every week I read our prayer request cards and you'll see people that are going through real diseases like cancer that are fighting for their life. It's not so easy to be patient when you're fighting cancer. Others of you, maybe it's a financial problem right now that it doesn't matter what you do, it just doesn't seem like ends meet, man. You're having a hard time paying your mortgage, you're having a hard time getting to that job, and financial suffering's taking place, and you're going, God wants me to be patient in this? Maybe it's emotional. Maybe you're going through an emotional time. You're going, how on earth will I be patient in this?
What are the things that you fear that's been keeping you from living your dream? That's been keeping you from doing some things that you would like to do? Just think about those things. And how do we begin to handle that? Abraham Maslow said that the life is about growth. And he said, you could either go back to your comfort zone, and there you won't find any growth, or you must be willing to go forward and face your fears again and again and again, because you're never going to have a fear-free existence. I mean, some fear is acceptable and legitimate. There are some things that you really should be afraid of. Now, you shouldn't allow it to immobilize you. You acknowledge it, you take it into account, and you carry yourself accordingly. There are times that we should proceed with caution. But it's the difference between being stopped by fear. It's the difference between having a fear and the fear having you.
But rather, he's giving you a spirit of love, of a sound mind. He wants you to operate not in that type of thinking, but rather he wants you to trust in him. You can't back down from every challenge that comes your way. But I think the other way is that if it's not fight, if it's not fright, it's this idea of flight, that let me just get out of here. You know, the psalmist David, he said, oh, if I had wings like a bird, I would just fly away. You know what the problem is with just quitting and giving up? Is that everywhere you go, there you are. Meaning, if the first marriage didn't work out, your knee-jerk reaction is, let me get out of this marriage, the next marriage will be better. Guess what? The problem is you're gonna get into the next marriage and there you are. Oh, I don't like this church very much. The problem is you're gonna get to the next church and there you are. At some point, you can't just run from everything and give up. See, I believe that James talks to us not about fight, not about fright, not about flight, but rather that we take on the right response, which is the response of faith. The response of faith. God has called us to be faithful on this journey. He's called us to be patient in moments of suffering, of moments of real pain, of real heartache. He doesn't want you to give up, but he wants you to trust in him. He wants to do something awesome in your life.
Listen to me, pain ain't permanent. You better hear what I'm telling you. Your pain ain't permanent. Your pain ain't permanent. You can get through this. You bigger than your pain. You better than that. And let me tell you something. When I left both of those jobs, I made up in my mind, each year you're gonna work through this. You're gonna get up, you're gonna get dressed, you're gonna get out, and you're gonna do